Good morning, Santiam Christian.
Morning. Go Eagles!
I was a cheerleader, when I went to your school, and so Jed is just really taking that to heart. I'm Kim. This is Jed in Ukraine, and we are your chapel today. Our organization is called Wide Awake International. For those of you who are new, who didn't meet us before, and we live in Ukraine in a little village, and our mission is bringing people with disabilities out of institutions to live in families. And it was like just about a year ago that I was with you guys in chapel with Boris and Vlad, if you remember. And a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot has fallen apart in our world, guys. Lots of masks, lots of antiseptic.
Lots of crazy.
Lots of crazy. And we had hoped today, it's Sunday today, we had hoped to show you our church and a little bit around town, but we just entered a new phase of quarantine. And so we can't go to church because you can't gather more than 20 people. So our team, some of them, are going to come and we're going to do church at our house. And so you'll get to see some of our boys, and Jed will give you guys a tour of the duplex, which you helped fundraise for.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a lot to show you today, so enjoy.
Enjoy.
Vicious leaving, you happy? Vicious leaving? Oh, child.
Нічого страшного. Там буду
Украино!
Мы с рядом думали, там есть какая-то труба. Не труба, а пластиковая тема. Похоже, но она плохо
Нет,
А, такая жесткая.
А, эти трубы. Ну, они, да, они маленький диаметр не делают.
Типа они.
Hey everybody, this is our next project right now. We're building a duplex. It'll be 2 homes for boys and men with special needs coming out of institutions to live with families here. So I'll show you inside to see how you guys helped with the money you donated last year. So come on in. One side of the duplex is about 90% done, and the other side about 65% done. So we still got a ways to go. But something interesting in Ukraine is actually pretty hard to find a ramp, and if you do, it's impossible to actually get up.
For wheelchairs.
For wheelchairs. So we actually have a ramp here.
We made our own ramp.
So imagine if your whole life you've been raised in a small, little confined space with not a lot of light, not a lot of fresh air. So when we built this place, we wanted to build something that would spark wonder and would just be a beautiful place for these guys to live the rest of their lives. These are their forever homes. So whoever comes to live with them, they are always going to be here. They're never going to have to move. So you walk right into the house, you walk into the kind of living room, and all very open for people to access in a wheelchair. Something important for us as we built was to be environmentally conscious. So with the home we built with wood because it's local. This is like the forest region of Ukraine, and so wood is the best element to build with. We also reclaimed this old cabin that was built in 1870 and used all that wood on these trim pieces, and so that's been a fun project to reclaim all this old oak from a cabin that was built during the time of the Tsars, you know, before Soviet Union. And so it's kind of interesting little thing, but you might be interested in how we're being ecologically conscious with our building process. So the boys will live, that come out of the institution will live downstairs, and the families and the folks helping care for them will have rooms upstairs. And with the money that you guys gave last year, we were able to get these stairs built. So,
Custom stairs.
custom. Sorry, custom stairs.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
So you can see that this duplex is built on the same property as our house. There's our backyard and our garden, and that's our house right there. All of this property is for our boys that come out of the institution. And like Jed said, they'll always live here. You know, we are looking for volunteers who want to come and commit 1 to 2 years to living with the boys, helping them to learn how to be human, because when they're in the institution, they're treated like animals. And so bringing them out of the institution, teaching them how to live with family, it's a big job. And so, but we'll have people coming as volunteers to live with them for 1 to 2 years, but the boys will always stay here, and so we'll always be neighbors. Again, it's Monday. I'm just taking a walk with Boris. Boris doesn't like looking at cameras. Boris loves 3 things in life the most: going in the car, eating sweets, and going for a walk in our village. I think he likes to watch the cars go by, see the animals. He just likes being outside. You know, he was in one building in a hallway for a lot of years and didn't get to experience the world around him outside those walls. And so he really enjoys being outside and being on the move. And so just about every day, someone from our team or someone from our family takes him for a walk down our road. And yeah, he loves it. So I'll show you guys a little bit of our village. Our village actually isn't that small. It runs along the highway. It's pretty long, but our street is, that's our world. So, yeah. This is our place. So the first time that I came to you guys was a couple years ago, and I told you our story of how we got to Ukraine and how our story is just saying yes to Jesus, the next things that he asks of us. And then last year when I was there, I talked about how when you say yes to something, that means you're saying no to something else. And you can't say yes to all the things and be following Jesus. And today I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what's been going on with my heart about saying yes to Jesus. There's going to be a big truck coming by. It's going to be really loud. But he's sweet. That there's so many voices. Our world is so noisy right now. Oh, like this really noisy truck. Our world is so noisy right now, and it seems really hard to think about how we can say yes to Jesus when it seems so hard to hear his voice, when there's so many voices and so many people fighting for our attention all the time. whether it's the news or your friends, social media, your phone, everything is vying for your attention, and it's like there's so many voices to listen to that it's really hard to make space in our minds and our hearts for the one voice that really matters. And where we find God is in the quiet. When we take time to still our hearts and our minds and listen to what He wants, because guys, He made you with a purpose. He made me with a purpose. Like, we're on this earth to do great things for Him. But if we spend our days so distracted by all the voices around us that are competing for our attention, and we don't have time or space, don't make time and space to listen to the voice of the Lord, our days are just gonna go by so quickly, and we'll never find our yes. Recently, just like within the past month, our organization left social media, and that was something that I felt like the Lord was asking me to do for a long time, just to trust Him to be our provider, to trust Him to take care of us, and not to put our trust in social media. And it felt really scary, like, to be absent from that space, because it seems like that's like where the world happens. But not only did God want us to trust Him more, I felt like He also wanted me to just quiet all those extra voices so that I could hear His voice more, and that I could, Boris, Chikai, he doesn't want to sit here, but we're going to sit here for a minute, so that I could make space to hear His voice. And it's been insane since we left social media how much my brain and my heart is freed up, because there's so many less voices in my mind and in my heart vying for my attention. And you know, Psalm 23, Boris, ти будеш чекати, хвилинку чекай. He's being impatient. Psalm 23 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul." So that's all about peace. It's all about quiet. And then later it talks about, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And how, like, our safety and our comfort and our peace is found in the Lord. And He wants us to, like, find this quiet place just to be with Him, just to hear His voice. But that is something that's not going to happen by accident. We have to create that space in our lives, create that space in our hearts to quiet ourselves. In Psalm 46, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still. Just be still. Be okay with being quiet. Set your phone aside and be okay being quiet with your own thoughts, listening for the voice of the Lord. Like, I feel like we all have to relearn how to not reach for our phone when we're bored, the bus thought we wanted to go, how to not reach for our phone for our comfort, but when we need comfort, to quiet ourselves and allow the Lord to be that for us. So yeah, it's something I'm learning. It's a skill I'm learning. It takes practice to be okay with being quiet with my own thoughts, to not look to other people for applause or affirmation or comfort or safety, but to find that in the Lord and to be comforted by Him and to trust in Him. So I have a challenge for you. My challenge would be, he looks so miserable. Sure, мы будем дома. We're gonna go home. Just a second, waiting for this truck to pass. My challenge for you is to, this week, to go for a walk in your neighborhood, at a park. Don't put earbuds in. Don't bring music. Don't look at your phone. Leave it at home. How about that? And Don't even let music distract you, but just walk, like just take in the world around you and listen, really listen, like quiet your heart, let your mind wander and listen to what God might be asking of you. Because how can you say yes to him if you can't ever hear him, right? And just be quiet and start to like learn to be quiet and to learn to hear his voice, because he wants you to say yes to him. And saying yes to Jesus is the best adventure ever. It's the best place to be. It's the safest place to be. It's the most peaceful place to be. Sometimes it's the hardest place to be because we want to fight against it. But that's where the blessing is saying yes to Jesus. And so my encouragement to you is find space in your heart and your mind to quiet all the other voices so that you can say yes to the one voice that really matters. So that's my encouragement to you. Bora, що ти кажеш? What do you say, Bimo? Who's that? Хто це? Це Борис? He's like, get me back on the road, lady. Anyway, yeah, I hope that encourages somebody.